Hi, I've received some comments, strangely enough not in the comments section, but by snail mail and by back channels. Luckily, wait a second, here's another one. Luckily, the post office knows where Rambling Idler Studios are located. But I'm not quite sure how the back channel thing works or why people aren't leaving their comments below the video. Be that as it may, some of you have sent questions to me. I'll try to answer a few of them here. Dear Rambling Idler, I detest your channel, but I'm intrigued by the idea of becoming an idler. But I have one question first. What is an idler? Signed, Anonymous Anomaly. Thanks for the feedback. Great question, by the way. It's always smart to find out what something is before signing up to be that thing. Let's first consult Johnson's dictionary. Idler, a lazy person, a sluggard. And in case you're not sure what a sluggard is, let's look that up too. Sluggard, an idler, a drone, an inactive lazy fellow. Not incidentally to be confused with slubberdigullion, a paltry, dirty, sorry wretch, though I suppose a slubberdigullion could also be a sluggard, just as he could also be a slug-a-bed, a lazy person who stays in bed when he or she should be up. That applies to many of us who aren't professional slug-a-beds. And since an idler or sluggard can also be called a drone, let's look that up too. Isn't a drone a kind of bee? And are bees known for being busy? Drone, the bee which makes no honey and is therefore driven out by the rest. A sluggard, an idler. You'll recall that Bertie Wooster was a member in good standing of the Drones Club, and that he wasn't gainfully or even gainlessly employed. There's also a verb, to drone, to live in idleness, to dream. So, Anonymous Anomaly, I hope that answers your question. An idler is an inactive, lazy person, but also a dreamer, perhaps a daydreamer. You may say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Dear Rambling Idler, love your channel, and I hope to be able to save enough money to subscribe one day. Let me just pause here to say that, believe it or not, you can subscribe to this channel for absolutely free. That's right, free, which I suppose makes it one of the best deals on the internet or even in the whole world. So to continue with your question, I assume that your channel's motto or epitaph, every man is or wants to be an idler, is from the Bible, but I haven't been able to find it. Can you tell me the chapter and verse? Signed, a potential subscriber. Well, potential subscriber, the motto is actually from the first issue of Samuel Johnson's publication, The Idler. Next question. Dear Rambling Idler, do you just sit around doing nothing all day? Yeah, nothing sometimes, or whatever I want to do. That's the beauty of being an idler. Sometimes I even make these YouTube videos, which I'll admit may be showing a bit too much initiative for an idler. But on the other hand, being an idler doesn't mean total inaction, which with time would become as hard as, if not harder than, work. Next question. Dear Rambling Idler, I'd like to dedicate my life to idling, but I fear that work might interfere with the idler lifestyle. Do you have any suggestions as to how I could finance it without getting a job? Signed, No Dough. Yes, I would suggest marrying someone like Sue Ellen Mischke, the O. Henry candy bar heiress, or Jed Clampett, the oil tycoon. I realize that marrying money may not always be possible, though, so my other suggestion is to find some kind of work, excuse me for using a four-letter word, that you find congenial or not too distasteful and that allows you enough leisure time to pursue your dream of idleness. Next question. Dear Rambling Idler, you have inspired me to get off my butt and become an idler. Signed, Galvanized into Action. Well, Galvanized, your heart is in the right place, but if you're serious about becoming an idler, maybe you should get back on your butt. What I can't comprehend is that people aren't flocking to this channel in droves or droving to this channel in flocks. You'd think that in the whole world or the whole World Wide Web, there would be a multitude of like-minded, that is, lazy people who would love nothing more than to turn on YouTube and watch some lazy guy ramble on about nothing in particular. And shouldn't this channel be a hit with the younger generation? Old people are always complaining about how the younger generation is so lazy. Well, if that's true, they ought to be flocking here. What's that old saying? In foul weather, birds flock together. It doesn't seem quite right, but it occurs to me that foul is another word for bird. So you could also express that saying by in bird weather, birds flock together. But what's bird weather? Is that whether birds consider good, bad, when do birds flock together? It's not my aim to convert anybody to idleness, which wouldn't be possible anyway, but if anybody does have the inclination and the dream to become an idler, I hope this video may encourage them a little bit and help them on their way to realizing that dream. And for those who aren't so inclined, I hope this video has served as a warning and you won't try to force yourself to something that is against your inclination. But I guess for now, that's it. Oh ho! What have we here?